Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are diving headfirst into the evidence from a federally funded program called Project LUMEN, and we're setting our sights on an anomaly that, frankly, completely defies scientific explanation. It's this chilling mystery that starts with a transmission from the pitch-black void of deep space and ends with a man just vanishing into the desert. 11. On the night of September 14th, 2019, inside a really remote rural New Mexico research station, Dr. Elias Vorn put on a pair of headphones, and for 11 agonizing minutes, he sat perfectly unnervingly still, just listening to a signal. His colleagues were absolutely stunned. They actually thought he was having a medical episode, but he wasn't moving, he wasn't speaking, he was just listening.
Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1, the 11 minutes. So, to understand his bizarre disappearance, we really have to go back to that night. It was 11:47 p.m., during what was supposed to be a totally routine monitoring shift. When Vorn finally pulled those headphones off after his 11 minutes of dead silence, the expression on his face was, well, his team said it was unforgettable. He looked at them and spoke exactly one sentence. "That's not random." And right after that, he locked himself in his office for 4 straight hours. When the morning shift finally arrived to relieve him, they found his office door unlocked. But Vorn? Nowhere to be found. The only thing he left behind was sitting dead center on his desk. It was a completely blank legal pad. Whatever he had been doing in there for those 4 hours, whatever was going through his head, he seemingly took it all with him. Part 2, the rational man. Let's look at Elias Vorn's background.
Now, it's absolutely crucial we understand exactly who we're dealing with here, because Vorn wasn't some fringe theorist posting unhinged conspiracies online at 3 a.m. No, he was a highly respected astrophysicist. We're talking 17 years at Caltech's radio astronomy department. He had 2 papers published in the incredibly prestigious journal Nature. His own peers described him as, get this, aggressively rational. He was a guy who demanded measurable, hard proof for absolutely everything. And you see, that impeccable, data-driven background, that is exactly what makes his subsequent behavior so deeply unsettling to the rest of the scientific community.
Let's move to the timeline and see how this all builds, because his behavior leading up to that night gets highly suspicious. It actually starts at a conference in Geneva. There's this unrecorded meeting with unknown researchers. Then, just 3 days later, Vorn suddenly demands a transfer to Project LUMEN to track outer solar system electromagnetic fluctuations. 2 weeks before the anomaly, his whole demeanor shifts. He gets super quiet, stops returning phone calls, and sends this incredibly eerie text to a colleague. And then bam, September 14th, the anomaly hits. Let's talk about that text message. He sent it, never followed up on it, and it is chilling. He wrote, "I think someone already found it before us, and they buried it." Seriously, think about that. What on earth did he learn from those unknown researchers in Geneva? Who found what? And more importantly, who buried it?
Part 3, Anatomy of a Signal, the hydrogen line.
What's really key to understand here is the specific frequency that was picked up, 1420 megahertz. In astronomy, this is known as the hydrogen line. Basically, it's the exact frequency at which neutral hydrogen atoms naturally emit radiation. Because of this, astronomers consider it the universal channel. If an intelligent civilization out there was going to broadcast a signal across the cosmos, this is the most logical, natural frequency they'd use. It's like the universal's default radio station. And that night, something was broadcasting on it.
Now, officially, only an 8-second clip of the signal was actually preserved. Acoustic researchers analyzed it and found this deeply embedded, repeating mathematical pattern. They described the data as having a folded structure, almost like it was compressed specifically so it could survive traveling across the vast, empty distances of space. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. Listeners who managed to hear a briefly cached version independently described the audio as sounding, well, like breathing. Not static, not mechanical, but a slow, patient, and intensely aware kind of breathing. And then comes the fallout. 3 independent researchers analyzed that audio. Almost immediately, 2 of them abruptly withdrew their analyses, citing some vague methodological errors or honestly giving no reason at all. The third guy, he actually stood by his findings. But then he dies of a sudden heart attack at age 61, despite being in totally excellent health. And within 72 hours of that, a federal agency steps in and classifies the full recording, blaming it all on spectrum interference. Let me tell you, literally nobody in the scientific community bought that excuse.
Part 4, the wow connection. Let's look at the physical clues. So following a massive 9-day search by law enforcement and Vorn's own sister, police finally found his car. It was parked at a rest stop on Interstate 25, roughly 40 miles away from the research station. But get this, the engine was off, the doors were totally unlocked, and sitting neatly right there on the passenger seat were his wallet, his keys, and his phone. Now, that phone had exactly one app left open, just glowing there in the dark. It was a star map.
and it was zoomed in precisely on one specific region of the night sky, the constellation Boötes. For astronomers, this is informally known as the origin zone for the famous, still unexplained 1977 WOW signal detected by Jerry Amen. And I gotta say, that is not a coincidence that sits easily in the mind, is it?
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact connection Vorn was making. Tucked away inside his personal 1977 research folder, investigators actually found a handwritten note comparing the two events, the 1977 WOW signal and the 2019 Vorn signal. He noted, same duration, same frequency, but a completely different direction.
In that very same note, Vorn wrote down his terrifying conclusion. He wrote, "They're not talking to us, they're talking to each other." His sister actually revealed later in an interview that Vorn told her he believed the 1977 WOW signal had been answered. I mean, wow. Think about the implications. That fundamentally shifts our entire understanding of first contact.
Part 5. The Eavesdroppers. A complete paradigm shift. The crucial point here is this massive existential realization. Humanity isn't the intended recipient of some grand cosmic message. If Vorn is right, we are merely eavesdropping on a vast ancient conversation between 2 points in space. A conversation that has probably been going on longer than our civilization has even existed. One that doesn't even know we're here, and there's actually corroborating evidence for this. 8 months later, at a private radio telescope over in the Netherlands, a graduate student running a late-night calibration test picked up an 11-second structured signal. The exact moment it happened, his equipment experienced unprecedented malfunctions that he could literally never replicate again.
The craziest part? That student's colleague, who had absolutely zero astronomical context, happened to walk into the room just to drop off some keys. She heard the audio coming through the speaker and instantly said, "That sounds like a conversation." The student later noted in a forum post, which was mysteriously deleted by the way, that the rhythm embedded in those 11 seconds perfectly matched a pattern detailed in a paper written by, you guessed it, Elias Vorn.
So where are we now? Well, Elias Vorn has been missing for over 6 years. The cover-up still lingers. Project LUMEN's mandate was quietly updated in 2021, entirely stripping out electromagnetic monitoring. That one unclassified 8-second clip was uploaded to an archive and then mysteriously scrubbed just 6 days later. You have to remember, Vorn was a fiercely, aggressively rational man. He grasped this terrifying cosmic reality, left his car at a rest stop, and just vanished into the desert. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought. Is the signal still waiting out there in the dark? Or did it already find exactly what it was looking for? Was Elias Vorn silenced for what he discovered? Or did he go somewhere willingly, following the transmission? I want to leave you with this absolutely incredible quote from J.B.S. Haldane. The universe is not only stranger than we suppose, it is stranger than we can suppose. It's just a profound, kind of unsettling reminder of our absolute smallness in the vast cosmic dark. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Remember to keep looking up and definitely keep questioning everything.